What is up, guys? Today we're going to be learning how to use FL Studio. I'm going to be walking you through how to use it for the very first time. This might be a little long, so there's going to be a table of contents in the description box, and there will be one right here. That will be so if you get bored watching one thing you already know, you can just go skip to other parts, whatever. Alright, when you first open FL Studio, you're going to probably see a preloaded project already. Just go to File, New, and there it is. It'll be something like this, except you'll probably have like a kick, snare, hat, and clap or whatever. If you want to look at that project again, in the browser window to your left, there'll be a projects thing that you can click on, and you'll have all these projects. So you can look at them to study and just learn what they do. Go in the browser window, you'll have several different things, okay? But primarily you'll be visiting this for the packs folder, which contains all your samples or audio files. You're not going to have any of the stuff that I have right now because I've been collecting samples for many years. But you're going to have some basic drum kits, and that's what we're going to be working with. Or wait, yeah, what we're going to be working with. Right here is the playlist window. That's where you're going to be building your beats or your patterns, as they call it in FL Studio. Get a basic drum kit, a kick and a snare. Okay. You got kick, snare, play. Okay. That's very basic. You have right here your pattern length. You can set it up to about 16 measures or 16 bars, whatever you want to call it. And then any further than that, you have to go right click, send a piano roll, and then you can go as long as you want. We'll be talking about that later. If you right click on any of these things, you have a few options. You can cut, you can copy, you can also paste, go to piano roll. Insert will insert a new instance of whatever you pick, like maybe FL keys or 3x oscillator, which are synthesizers, how you make your lead sounds. You can replace it with another instance of something. You can clone it or you can delete it. And also, which is really important, you can cut itself, which means if you play a fast roll of one sample and it's kind of long, instead of it clashing into each other over and over, it'll restart the sample every time it plays. You also have tempo, which make sure I have cut itself. Play. Which just speeds it up and slows it down. Then you have a metronome, which will play every quarter note to keep it in time. Like if you have something that you're recording live on your keyboard or whatever, you have a vocal you're trying to match up to the beat, that's what it is. Okay. If you right click on the tempo, you can go to any pre-selected time that they have for just shortcuts. Right now, and then you have your playlist window, which is where you put together your patterns. Say you have drums. Okay, I'm gonna make a simple drum beat right here. Okay, put pattern 1 right there. Then you right click on the pattern, find first empty pattern, and just press enter, or you can name it and press enter. And maybe you'll make a lead. So you'll insert piano, right click, piano roll, then very basic generic trap piano. So now you have your drums and your melody. Go to the song mode. You have pattern mode and you have song. That's a very basic beat, and you know you can have it cut out or cut off the melody at one part, you know, and etc. etc. You have the draw tool, which allows you to move around something, and then the paintbrush tool, which allows you to paint something. Right click on anything to delete it. You have the slice tool, which allows you to cut something in half. like that. Control Z is undo. You have the select tool right here. You can grab stuff like that. And you can either Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste, or you could just move it around. You could delete it, whatever. Right here you have a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna be talking about snap. Snap is how far you want to move something at one time. So let's say you go from having no snap, completely off the grid, to be go wherever you want it to go, or you can go to bar, which is very big. That is just so you can fine tune how much you move something so you can get it perfectly in time. Then you have the piano roll, which you just lay down notes right here. You have the thingies you can select from a keyboard, or it'll actually tell you the notes. You have note velocity, you have note pan, note fine pitch, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Then you have channel panning, channel volume, channel pitch. What that does is velocity is the volume of the note, okay? So you can turn down these two notes volume. Then you can pan them. You can make the pitch manually go up. See? Then you have, just the regular stuff. You have snap and all that. You have a few other things that pertain to the piano roll, but that's it. Then you have slide notes, which if you make a slide note, you press on this little triangle thing, it'll say slide right here. Okay? Put it right there. That means that this regular note is going to slide up to this note in this amount of time. Okay? Or you can make it faster. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then you have the mixer, which, okay, say you wanted an effect on this thing, okay? I'm going to put back that pattern. Okay, play that. Okay, now you have this selected. You can tell by this little green thing that it's selected. Go to the mixer, right click on an empty mixer track, link selected channels to this track, and then you go over right here, and then you press select. Then maybe you want an echo on it. You go to free delay 2 in this instance. Now you have a delay. Okay. Now you also have panning and volume. And what that does is it puts this, it goes to the master. You can have multiple things on one mixer at one time if you want to have the same effects. Now you have, like, say if you want the delay to only be on at one portion of the melody, you have this pattern that we already have. Go to the mixer, right click. This controls whether this effect is on or off. You right click, go to create automation clip. Zoom in a little bit. Then you can drag the little dot they have. Right click again, and right click on the dot you just made. They go to hold. That'll make it a perfect, like a perfect straight up instead of a curve. Now you have delay right here, but not right here. Yeah, it sounds bad, but that's not the point. You see it right here. Okay? And you could do that with volume, like a curve, like in volume, or you can mess with the panning like that. That's how you make automation clips. And then that's pretty much it. You also have, like, for simple synthesizers, right click, insert 3x oscillator. You have like this. I'm not going to go too deep into actually what this is, but it's basically, you can choose different waveforms, and you have 3 signal generators or oscillators. They have different types of things you can do with them. And panning. And they all have that. Then every single thing in FL has the A, SDR, which is short for attack, hold, decay, sustain, release, and this one has pre-delay. This envelope controls the sound. Okay, right now it's off because this box isn't checked. If I check it, that means it's on. What each of these things do is, okay, pre-delay, oops, my bad, pre-delay, okay, if you have it up, the more it is up, the longer it takes for the sound to actually come out when you press a key. Like, now it's instant, but with pre-delay, it's a little lag, not lag, but delay. Then with attack, the longer the attack is, the more it fades in, you know what I'm saying? Hold is, it just holds it at that one volume. Decay is how long it takes to fade out. Sustain, if you don't want it to fade out to absolute 0, you would have the sustain at whatever level you want it to be. You know. And release, if you just pluck it real quick, then it'll kind of still like have like a kind of a echo. They have these envelopes for each of these things, like pitch, you know. They have LFOs, which stands for low frequency oscillator, which is kind of like how people make the dubsteppy bass. You have the amount, the attack, the decay, or the delay, and they have the speed. You right click, you set it to like 2 steps, and it'll be tempo with the tempo, you know. And you can do that with the pitch too. You know, they have filters, so like you have this, and you have resonance. You have different types of filters. You have a function which you can make its own delay, like it'll echo 4 times. You can make a pitch up and stuff like that. You have its arpeggiator, and yeah. To lower the pitch of the synth, you can, or any sample really, right click on the top and it'll lower if you go to the right, and it'll higher the pitch if you go to the left. That's for just changing the root note of the thing. Oh, and if you want to add sounds, like if you find a drum kit, like a sample kit you want to put in, you just go to your computer, program files, image line, FL Studio, whatever, data, patches, packs, and just put the sound in here, and it'll be right here. Okay, that is the basics of FL Studio. That's everything you need to know to start making beats. And I make more complex videos, so once you learn how to do the basics, you want to make some real good stuff, just check out my other videos. Until then, bye.